What's on the track? realness on the track.
All fair and love and war. Upgrade your life up with a real nigga, no lanes for sure. I'm about my coin, get heads and tail, y'all flop, but I prevail. My grind stay on 100, y'all on 50-50. You cuss these hoes and shifty, can't fuck with me. All fair and love and war. Upgrade your life up with a real nigga, no lanes for sure. I'm about my coin, get heads and tail, y'all flop, but I prevail. My grind stay on 100, y'all on 50-50. You cuss these hoes and shifty, can't fuck with me. No, I'm a different breed. A guy for show, I'm into you, but this you into me. I shoot my shot, I play my cards, but no, I never fold. My heart been cold, but since you done the temp on up and go. Take time, shit moving slow, this ain't no fuck, I'm trying to let you know. I'm trying to put a ring on it, big boulder bling on it, dip your shoulder thing on it. Take trips and show you, walk it up and go, don't think on it. My cinnamon apple, my honey, do you sweet on it. I lick between
boring a bad thing?
Not at all.
No, it should be expected. I think it's something that us elders should definitely warn, or let them know that it's gonna happen, because children and life and work and school happens, and when it's all happening at the same time, it can get really boring. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But again, being
you taste so sweet, shawty. You everything I need, shawty. Please believe, shawty. You take my breath, oh gee, shawty. I can't breathe, shawty. I'm asthmatic with you. Let's go paint a future, bigger picture with them cars, rings, rocks, shoes, clothes, house, kids, white fence, whoa. Big bills paid too. Worries got none about you. Never switching, making you my missus. Sending X and O's, the hugs, the kisses. Arguments, you know they're gonna happen. Call you baby even when I'm spazzing. Love and war. Upgrade your life up with a real nigga, no lanes for sure. I'm about my coin, get heads and tail. Y'all flop, but I prevail. My grind stay on 100, y'all on 50-50. You clutch these hoes and shifty, can't fuck with me. I'm fair in love and war. Upgrade your life up with a real nigga, no lanes for sure. I'm about my coin, get heads and tail. Y'all flop, but I prevail. My grind stay on 100, y'all on 50-50. You clutch these hoes and shifty, can't fuck with me.
Two one two one two.
What up? What up, though?
How y'all doing? It's Tuesday.
How y'all doing?
It's Tuesday.
You got yourself. You hear yourself, missus?
I do. Let me see.
All
1 2
right,
1 2.
cuteness, you good over there?
Yes. How you doing?
All right, looking good over there.
You
I like
just
that
good.
blue.
Be great.
Talk about it.
No excuses.
No excuse to
Yeah,
be
like
great,
that.
man. You just gotta do it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. It ain't nothing to it.
Even when it's hard, shit. Nothing to it but to do it. How y'all doing out there? Thank you for pulling up and popping in. He
Yes,
said, she
indeed.
said, love and abundance.
Yes, indeed.
Where we try to bring some consciousness,
Y'all,
especially
y'all,
parental consciousness, please.
y'all.
Our children need us to do better.
Shout out to everybody
It's
here.
Tuesday.
Give yourself a round of applause.
You all are appreciated.
Yes, indeed.
Word, if you didn't know.
Let's get to it. Let's get
Mhm.
to it. I got a
You
dope
ready?
episode
You
for
got
you,
something
man.
lined up?
Absolutely got
I'm
something
excited.
that we set up for the conscious parents, man. The aspiring conscious parents. If you know somebody young that's a young parent, they might want to check this one out or give them a nudge to check out the replay. But we called it Big Kids, Lil Kids. Thumbnails don't have the title in it anymore, but they getting cuter though. They getting cuter. Shout out to Red Lipstick Vibes, where the vibe is always
Shout out to
positive.
the AI tunes and
they
all
getting
that.
cuter. No title in it.
Mhm. That's nice. Yeah, you hooked that up. I appreciate that.
not
Got
bad.
little kids over there.
Not
They
bad.
grow up quick.
And today we talking about the big kids and the little kids, and it's a conversation that's geared around the modeling of behavior and how we model behavior for children. And I got some dope information. Went down into the Creative Counseling Center and got some information on children's observe more than we realize.
Say it
how
all the
modeling
time.
impacts your child's behavior. That's what we're going to be talking about today. So I hope you guys are ready. Let's go ahead and get to the pleasantries. Looks like party people are in the building. It looks like the lionesses are
welcome.
on deck. So
Harmonizers
let
in
me
the building.
go ahead and play the Y'all know those the ladies.
Yes.
AKA
out here.
Not on my watch. Not on my watch.
So see they pulling up and pulling in. Shout out to
Shaking
Amanize.
tables.
Checking in. Hey Amanize, how are you? Hope you're doing good. She said, "What's up, Mrs. She said, how are you?"
Yes.
Sarah's
All is well.
pulling. Hey
Hey,
Sarah.
Sarah.
Hope
Welcome,
you're doing
love.
good. Peace to the God. Peace, God.
All right now.
Hope you're doing well, man.
Appreciate you pulling up.
Wally on the check-in. What up, Wall?
Wally.
Hit that like button. Y'all heard what she said. JB in the
Just-
building. John
just
Blaze.
Hey now.
Blaze up.
Welcome back. Welcome
Light
back.
it up. Light it up. You know what it is, man.
Okay.
Cuteness is in the building.
I'm trying.
Everybody's exchanging the pleasantries. My brother Hank is in the building.
Hey
What's
now,
good, my
Hank.
guy? Hope you're
Welcome,
doing
welcome,
well.
brother.
Sis is in the building. Red Lipstick Vibes with a
Hey,
vibe.
sis. It's always positive. Mm-hmm.
No, that's
It's
right.
cold everywhere.
It's cold everywhere.
We've been
y'all.
hearing.
Yeah. Stay warm. Stay warm. Get you something warm to drink. Get you somebody warm to cuddle up next to.
Saying.
And just chill out and ride it out, because it's gonna be a couple of days, but we'll get through it.
Mm-hmm.
We will get through it, but stay warm, because it is cold. It's very cold here in Maryland. Supposed to get even colder as the night goes on. So
if you don't know how to drive in the snow, don't drive. Yeah. Go slow.
Stay home unless you got to.
Yeah.
And promote conscious parenting.
Please. Please.
Okay.
Sis said it's cold outside.
Girl.
Jesus Christ. Sarah says she hope everybody is well. Hope you doing well. I know it's cold up there. So bundle up, everybody. Let's go ahead and have a good discussion. Like I said, man, this one is going to be centered around children. Observe more than we realize how modeling impacts your child's behavior. Got a lot of information that we're going to impact. And I got a couple of like commercials I'm going to kind of break the monotony up with.
Okay.
To kind of tie in the points. You want to help me out?
Sure. A young boy observes one of his classmates disciplined by the teacher for speaking out of turn. By observing this into action, the boy learns to wait until he is called upon to speak in class.
What do you think about that?
I mean, that's a possibility. You know, you can definitely pick that up. Like, ooh, didn't you just get? All right, I might want to raise my hand.
You know,
but rules are kind of given. I think educators usually explain what the rules are in class.
Okay.
Now, whether they comprehend it, get it, respect it, that's a whole nother thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This type of learning is called observational learning or modeling, that's the first thing they do, because, all they can really do is see and hear. They can't really understand what's happening.
Absolutely.
It is most closely associated with psychologist Albert Bandura and his social learning theory, which theorized that modeling occurs in 4 steps. And these 4 steps: attention, the child pays attention to someone else's behavior.
I hear that's a lot, especially in these electronic spaces where, the conversations are about bettering the community, bettering our environment, bettering our homes, so on and so forth. But, the child pays attention to someone else's behavior.
Yeah.
And the way you shine light on wrong and foolish behavior, the behavior that we see in the reality of our lives. I'm not sure if you see it in your anecdotal experience.
Right. You're small.
If you want to tell me that mine's is discredited because it doesn't apply to everybody in the world, but children learn from our behavior.
Yes.
I don't know if it depends. I don't know if it's sometimes. I don't know if it's not all. No, they learn from the behavior they see. They are blank canvases.
Yeah, they are.
And look at the modeling of behavior that they see. The indecisiveness, the not able to deal with things not going your way, the immaturity, the combativeness. This is in men and women alike. I'm not delegating this to any one particular person.
Versus
I'm just
nurture,
looking at little people, looking at big people.
Oh, they looking.
Hence the title, because I don't see adults and children. I see little kids
and big kids.
And big kids.
Yeah.
They big. They 30. They 40. They 50.
65.
They 60. They 70.
Yeah.
Still a damn kid. Mentality of a child. And if this is the behavior that you're modeling as an adult, arguing with everybody, got something to say about everything, can't let one situation slide by without your temper being displayed, without you getting at them, without you coming up, retaliation, no de-escalation skills. The kids are watching all of this stuff.
Yeah, they are. They learning real well. And it's unique to, move here and see, and not to say up in the 80K, it wasn't exhibited because them kids was unique as well. And they were a whole different demographic. And I tell you, they shined like their parents. You hear?
They did.
Holy moly.
They did.
So, it's not designated to just us, we're humans, and all little people will pick up what they see. I don't care what you tell them. You can tell them all day, go read a book. They don't see your ass reading a book. They probably ain't going to read a book.
Talk about it.
Just saying. You have to consider that. What's 2? 2, retention. The child remembers the behavior. He or she may be taught the behavior explicitly, or they may simply learn by observation. They remember the behavior. You don't believe the things children remember. They do. Want to stick may not stick. You was about to play a video?
I did. I think it came up. They learn from their observation.
Okay. Oh.
Like, do you see what they learn from their observation, guys? I play hands on your knees.
Yeah.
Hands on your knees. Hands on your knees. They
Where
observe
they learn that from?
To learn that, they observe that.
Yeah. Most kids jump around like a goddamn jumping bean, like a jumping jack. So they learned that from somewhere. What they watching?
Our sister on the check-in.
Hey now.
Tanya, what's popping?
All right now, sister. Brooklyn.
Doing well, sis.
Sending love.
My guy Hank checked in. He said, shout out to Curtis Mayfield. Yes, indeed. Sister Sarah said exactly.
Yeah.
They learn our coping skills.
Yes.
We are their mirror.
Yeah.
They're a reflection of us.
Yeah. And I needed a lot of self-reflection early on in our relationship. My temper, my quick to be offended, quick to respond, like all of that. Once the first child came, I think it was a little easier for me to take the critiques, right? Because I didn't want them to mimic me, maybe being combative with their father. Gotcha. You know what I mean? Us in a heated debate,
right?
The same kind of repetitive things, so to get here 26 years later and they remember maybe 1 or 2 and laugh about it. So, I can appreciate that. Learning to balance myself, again, it's hard. We don't just say it because it doesn't apply. It has applied, it's just a level of maturity that one has to gain, and that it's growing up. And I literally felt the need to grow the fuck up. And sometimes it meant being quiet and listening and taking heed to the message and not being offended, and hopefully following through with changed behavior, and it's hard. It's absolutely hard because we're all humans, right? We're selfish and it is what it is. But for the children, for family, listen, I ain't get hurt, it was just words. And sometimes it's hard to hear. So, but children, man, they remember a lot. Absolutely. So, especially our behaviors.
Absolutely.
So shout out to the kids.
Shout out to everybody pulling up and pulling in. Shout out to my guy BK Dino, Roberto,
hey,
Dr. Nakumbe. Shout out to everybody on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. We appreciate y'all.
Yes.
It's gonna be a great discussion tonight, Dr. Nakumbe. We're talking about big kids and little kids. And again, this conversation is going to be centered around children observe more than we realize, how modeling impacts your child's behavior. And I got this information from an amazing article from the Creative Counseling Center.
Nice.
And I put the link in the description, of course, to this video. And you guys can go and check it out. And let's go ahead to number 3, reproduction. The child recreates the behavior in his or her own experience.
I saw it that time.
I mean, this is what, like I said, you do all year. We outside. The little girls that was on the table, we outside. And I'm going to bring up later the young lady that said, your daughters want to listen to Pound Town. Your kids want to listen to Pound Town. That little girl was in tears. You reached out to her personally.
Yes.
We found out this girl lives in Maryland.
Yeah.
Your kids want to listen to Pound Town. She was about to cry because they recreate your behavior. And we get pushback for pointing out your behavior. You don't get the pushback for behaving like that. They don't go to you and say, why are you degrading positive Black people's image like this? Stop doing that. No, they go to the positive Black people and say, why y'all talking to them cantankerous gutter snipes?
Don't judge them
like that.
Let them pop their little pussies, but vaginas if they want to.
Let them pop they vajayjays if they...
Not on my watch. Not on my watch. Will you disrespect?
Serious? Nigga champions?
Yeah. It's definitely something you can point out and say, hey, you save all that vagina popping for your husband? You know, throw that out there.
It's men that come at me. Why are you talking to them women like that? Because they look how they're behaving. Look at the children. What do you mean? I'm supposed to just sit idly by a 50-year-old old ass man? You gotta be kidding me.
Not on my watch. Not on my watch. Will you disrespect
the children? Will you disrespect the children? Because children observe more than we realize how modeling impacts your child's behavior.
And our grandchildren gonna have to associate with your damn children. Our great grandchildren gonna have to grow up with your children. We already set the foundation.
What rhymes with foundation is motivation. Motivation. The child is motivated to continue the modeled behavior.
Yes. That's a conversation that's had here with Madison, who's 9, who will be 10 this year. Often. Do we model laziness? Do we model letting trash build up in our room, or, you know, any of that stuff?
Right.
You know? So that conversation is something that needs to be had often. It's not any of the conversations with our kids. It's a repetitive thing. You might get tired of saying the same thing over and over, but you will have to.
Absolutely.
And it's important for them to hear it. Stick to your standards when it comes to your children. You know the rules and shit. Like sometimes some things you shouldn't sway. Don't sway. Have standards, especially for your kids.
2024. If you ain't had none, get some. We gonna make it okay again. Standards.
Or short skirts.
Shout out to everybody pulling in. I see my guy AR pulling
welcome,
in.
Welcome.
AR,
hey now.
Poppin'?
Air Dialogue is in the building.
Pulling in. What's good?
Blaze is in the building. Welcome,
I see
brother.
Oz Bliggy pulling in. What's popping?
Yes. Hey now, brother. The International Quiet Storm is in the building. Welcome.
My God,
welcome.
Moderation Gang in the building. What's good?
Gang. Hashtag LIA in the chat. Yep. Nightbot, you know, do all the work for you.
Yep. International Quiet Storm. Yes. Take the night off. Chill out in the chat. Just tell them to put LIA, hashtag LIA in the chat, and Nightbot will drop your link.
Sure will.
Oh, y'all mods, y'all chill on out.
Boom,
take the day off. See, Harmonize got it.
Pow.
See, those A students, man.
Thank you, Nightbot.
Them A students, man.
Don't be afraid to Cashapp, Nightbot.
And they go Harmonize link right there in the chat. Y'all click it right now.
Click it.
So she could get 1 or 2 new subs. That would be great. Don't make me share my page and go over there and look and see how many she got, because I will do it.
You know,
don't play with me.
There will be bullies.
I will pull.
We'll bully for that.
I will pull up YouTube.
Why not?
And go to Arm and Eyes page.
We learned that tool. That's a good one. Right. We ain't going no further. Go over there and subscribe.
78.
Take a sip.
Sip your drink. I'm an I 78. She has 339.
Treat her.
We're gonna need her to get to 341 before we go another further. I'm gonna keep it funky.
Another further.
This is 2024 like content creation right here.
Way to build
you
up.
support your crew. That's right.
Come on
so
now.
two of
Just
y'all
click
that
that
don't
button.
know who mrhesaid is, click that button right there, Nightbot provider for you. Click that link. Go over there, subscribe to mrhesaid so we can keep going. 339.
You'll be sure to enjoy the content. I'll be
Yes,
cracking
indeed.
up, child.
Get somebody beat up in here. I come to y'all house. I know where pretty much all of y'all live. I pretty much know where y'all live at. She's still at 339. That's okay. I got videos.
Karaoke.
I got time. I'm here. I got time. Y'all know how I get down. All right. Y'all make sure y'all go over to mrhesaid. We gotta have some subscribers by the time we get to the next segment. We're gonna come over there, beat somebody up electronically.
Man,
virtually.
It's triggering.
Does it make a difference that you are married and can support each other? What if a single parent does not have enough support to uphold such standards? So that's when resourcefulness has to come in. And that's where, you know, that care. And like I always say, Doc, that once you have a child, it's not about you no more. And now that you're a single parent, you absolutely have to find the resources to kind of compensate for what you lack. And, you know, community resources, family resources, and just amazing individuals that you would meet and come across if you're another amazing individual. If you're organic and sincere and
genuine, everybody ain't willing to hand their possession over to strangers. You know, so it would be nice to have a village, you know, and everyone doesn't. But I would say just to, again, stand firm. You can love and nurture your children and also be stern and disciplined. And it has to be structured, you know, so charts, rules for them to see it. And you have to stand on it. You can't be a screamer and a you know, toxic person and think your children are going to turn out and be respectful. You know, you got to give them respect in order to get it, you know, and it's very simple and early when they start talking. You give them something, you say thank you, you know, and it's those simple things, you know, may I open your diaper? You know, all of those little things when you talk to your babies, they hear it. They really learn quickly, you know, so it's on us to present that dialogue to them, because the more dialogue you give to them, they are going to pick up, they're going to respond. You want milk? They know exactly what that word means by 3 months. You understand? So milk.
And also the versatility, the same way you would approach your dating life. How about you approach your child raising life? You would go on apps and try to meet people. You would think about surrogate or possibly you call it poly. You would be thinking outside of the box on how to find you a mate, on how to get your jumped off. Do the same, put the same energy into children. You find an amazing family and latch to them.
Yeah.
I want to learn how to raise my family from you guys. You guys are amazing. Like, this is the humbleness that people don't have when it comes to their children. They have that humbleness when they want to adopt somebody's child or have a child and have someone surrogate the child for them, or when they want to foster a child, or they want to respite some children.
Right, because to foster a child, you got to do a lot of training.
Absolutely.
Like, you got to CPR, like that right there. I think it's a great tool for parents. Absolutely, it should be like required to take first aid, CPR, Heimlich maneuver, AED class, and get certified with that. Because first thing we do is panic when it comes to our kids. So to have those tools to make us secure, you know, you feel more confident in your, you know, being a parent. Because it's scary. It's scary for young people, old people, at whatever age. Each child, it's a different feeling, a different, you know, environment, situation. Absolutely. So, you know, they're all different. And it can be really challenging. But I agree with husband. Definitely, you know, try to find support, you know, outside of you and people that you can trust. And you have to watch them.
Be resourceful. Think outside the box. Like, take some chances. Again, just like you would in your life, in your you know, professional life, your romantic life. You're gonna have to do some things in order to make some things happen. And you never know, you know, where there's a will, there's a way. It's just, how much will do you have? Now, to keep track of everyone's show,
Press the notification bells.
Podcast. Shout out to you, man. Thanks for pulling up.
Welcome.
And another thing to chime in on that comment that Doc made.
Okay.
Where
doesn't make a difference. I see it. Go back down.
Back down.
Right there. Right here. Nope. More.
We almost there.
There you go.
There it is. This statement right here, this fragment of it.
Does it make a difference that
you are married and can support each other?
Absolutely.
That's a misconception that a lot of people have. We even talk about it together because people assume we have each other,
that we don't need support from others,
from outside support. Like
Sean
got Nikki,
y'all lied,
and Nikki got Sean.
Y'all lied.
So they all right. They've been together 8,000 years. They say it all the time, so they okay.
Right?
No, sometimes we need an outside entity to,
smooth the path.
Right. Just kind of like
ear, considerate, wise word. Bring you back to reality.
Exactly.
Yeah. And me personally, I've had to reach out for counseling. I've had counseling, because when we met, I was finishing up getting out of a car accident. So I was already in therapy, which was awesome. So anytime I felt struggle, I had no problem reaching out, saying, let me find me a counselor or, some type of family assistance for myself.
Great statement, Doc, because a lot of people assume that married people lean on each other.
Right. And we don't need any other support.
And it is true. We do lean on each other a lot, but we don't want to lean on each other 100% of the time with everything. And the guys, they allude to it in these boxes. You know, you don't go to your woman with everything. They kind of word it a little unique, but you don't want to burden your significant other with every little thing. So.
And I've always mentored, my sisters and tried to explain that to them, like everything ain't for him. You got to find another, which is me. We sisters. You got some gripes, like holla at me. You might get a sensible response versus trying to weigh it all on him when he already got the world on his shoulders. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's have a sensible sister or brother that you can build with, that's not going to pull you away from your loved one, but it's going to always have you self-reflect on what you could have did better. And that's the kind of people we have around us. They'll check us real quick. So I appreciate y'all.
Shout out to the elders.
We ain't do this by ourselves.
Any single parents in the chat have ideas in how to be more conscious, even if not supported by other people or co-parent? Great question, Doc. Great question. Me, I would again just say be more resourceful. If there's any book knowledge you can get, if you can sit at the foot of an elder and get some knowledge, if there's an amazing mom or dad that you see in your passing by, like that's an amazing dad. He's always with his kid in the park. See him, take him, get him a little juice.
We've done that.
You know what I mean? Like just you a good dad, man.
Right. We show up at the library often. Okay, you always in here. Yeah.
But we gotta humble ourselves. We gotta humble ourselves to say, I want to tell this person that I appreciate the inspiration they provide, and I can be doing better as a parent. There's things that I can do different as a parent. Our kids, still reflect on the different parent that they got. Each of them got a different us.
5 years apart. Absolutely.
We were dead broke with one. We were doing a little better with the other. We were more established with the other, and each one got a different mom and dad. And it's like, we didn't get that.
Better tweaking.
And it's like, you had a different us.
Now they get it.
Parents.
Glad they get to an age and we can reflect with them and see the light come on. Like, I hope I can be as good as a parent as y'all. But we try to show them, as long as we live, y'all got us. We gonna be here. Like, I'm always want to be close to them kids so we can assist them.
Miss T with the T is in the building. Hey, Miss T.
Welcome.
Is an amazing content creator. She is like
teacher,
a pillar in her tribe. She brings everybody together. She gets them right on monitoring their pages, making sure everything's cleaned up. She's like our sister Ty. She's in the gardening, like she's giving me a green thumb. She don't even know I'm in the clouds. Like, okay,
we soaking some seeds now.
Been doing.
It's going down.
All right. So, yo, if y'all don't know, go and check out Miss T with the T. Miss T, put hashtag LIA in the chat, and Nightbot will drop your link for you.
Yes, please.
You are good to go. Look at
And
that. Dr. Nakumbe done subscribe to Almond Eyes.
All
That's
right
what I'm
now.
talking about. That's content creation 2024 right there. Like, you got friends, go over there and hit the subscribe. Matter of fact, we gonna look and we gonna stop everything. We can share the page. This is the power that we have as content creators.
Right.
And we can do that. We don't have to be,
and it's free.
Pulling
that's
each
the best
other
part.
down, bigging each other up. Appreciate you, Almond Eyes, and you, Mrs., and you, Red Lipstick, and you, Real Precious, and you,
Take heed
all of
to
y'all.
the message.
All of y'all.
Yeah, Michelle, everybody. Y'all know.
The realest McCoy is in the building.
Hey,
Peace,
now.
everyone. The Harris is in the chat. What's going on? Shout out to all of y'all conscious parents pulling up and pulling in. Y'all know we having a conversation about big kids and little kids.
Big kids,
Promote
little
conscious
kids.
parents, and with the Harris's, peace and respect. Family info. See that? He agrees. He said Miss T is great. He agrees. That's great. Minds think alike, my brother. That's right.
Yep. Support each other. LIA, hashtag LIA in the chat. Nightbot gonna drop them links.
Okay. Dr. Nakumbe said, does it make a difference if I have a girlfriend who really, really good with kids that helps me take care of them, but mama won't let the kids be around? So how can I be better for my kids?
Oh man.
You gotta be able to become Martin Luther King. Happy birthday, Martin Luther King. You gotta be able to keep the peace between everybody. You do. You have to be the bigger person at this point. This is when these terms are operative for me, because this is when it's really imperative. Like, your children are the cost. You might not get to see them, speak to them as much. Everything might be different. So what you got to do is you got to be the bigger person for now. You got to keep it cool over here. You got to keep it cool over here, and make sure that this child gets the best experience, especially if you got an amazing girlfriend.
Right.
You want to respect your baby's mother.
Right.
Keep everything cordial for 18 years, which is going to be hard.
So is she not letting the kids be around because of the girl, or she just don't want the kids around you at all?
I mean, you know how it
that's
gets
a different
down, Mrs.
mindset.
Harris.
Like,
sometimes
I know, goodness
it really
gracious,
doesn't matter which way you want to slice it. It's going to get sliced that way.
Yeah.
No matter if you try to avoid it, it's still going to happen. Like, why is it a problem? This girl's amazing. This is my new girlfriend.
I mean, because he don't want me.
I don't want
so
her
what
around
he
this chick.
couldn't do for me, he's going to possibly do for her. And that, I don't like that.
Right.
That's the mindset. But it's not about you. It's about the kids. Just because he doesn't want you doesn't mean he doesn't want his children. And I think that's where women get it twisted.
Talk to him.
And I don't appreciate that.
Okay.
You are different from their children. That's their seed. So I don't even like the statement of let you. Why the fuck allow you
I hear you.
to be around your kid like that right there? I'm not child support, no child support. Like I think that's very unfair to use that child as a possession, and a lot of women do.
I mean, I hear you, but that's the care. They chalk it up to, I care about this child so much
because I don't want him to hurt.
That's right. Y'all don't know that this person may be a boogie woman around my child. I can't have that.
I can understand the woman, but the man.
That too.
Like you chose to have a child with this man. Is it not his job and his responsibility and duty to protect that child as well? So you believe when he's not in your eye shot, that man is not going to protect that child? Yeah, it's quite. I can imagine you gentlemen's frustration with that type of situation, man, because
it's unique.
I've seen it, had to experience it. Yeah.
Shout out to our God Quiet Storm. He hit us with a Cashapp.
Oh, much.
International Quiet Storm. We appreciate you so much, man. Your moderation, your support to the channel, man. We appreciate you, brother. And
out there in the streets, be everywhere.
Let's get to it.
I can't believe I made it. It's my first time getting money. Where's my money? It's right here. Right there. Y'all can't see me. We getting rich. Hard body. taught by the youngins. We getting rich together. Yeah. We getting rich together.
Look here, baby.
Okay.
Oh man. Appreciate you.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to Quiet Storm. Appreciate you, brother.
Look here, baby, bro. I'm a little light right now. Could you, like, let me hold some change?
Brothers and sisters, give me your grit money, give me your weave money, give me your perm money, your Jordan money, your Alizé money, your 40-ounce money. We need the money, brothers and sisters. How about you hit the Cashapp?
Shout out to Quiet Storm. Appreciate you, bro. Sarah checked in. She said, I never understood that mindset. Even though my child's father and I didn't work out, doesn't mean I need to be bitter. His girlfriend sometimes would pick her up, and I never minded. As long as my child is safe. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And happy. That's all that mattered to me. I always had an open door policy that he can see her anytime. Kudos.
That's
to
a
you.
beautiful thing.
Damn shame when parents choose to use their children as chess pawns. My man Blake.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
You be using those children as chess pawns.
Still, wonder where they learn it from. Umar, you cannot have
My Casamigos money, nigga. Hell no. Hell no. To the no. That's right. And tequila is our drink of choice as well. Only singular.
Yeah.
Tequila. We don't want nothing else.
They be like, y'all crazy.
We drink it by the gallon. Y'all used to rob stagecoaches? Yeah. But no, we love tequila. We like a glass every now and again.
It's been a minute for me.
Doing more
Goodness
coffee.
gracious.
Yeah, been doing more coffee and drinking our water and doing our winter thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, don't feel much different.
No. I learned my lesson. Let me tell y'all about these hot flashes.
Oh yeah. Was that the last time?
That was the last time.
Yo, I didn't even realize that. That is crazy.
I don't play by my body. Okay.
Yo, I didn't even realize that though,
I
babe.
didn't even notice. I'm not a heavy drinker. If we go out, I'll have a shot, sip it down. And I'm not a shotter. I'll just sip it, But we went out a couple months ago.
It was a couple months ago.
It was
Saturday night.
So I had a shot and had a hot flash
at the same time, like very close together.
It was a night sweat and hot flash all at once,
Right.
so I couldn't strip off no clothes or none of that. Yeah, it was over. I felt like I drunk 2 40s and Alizé. I was twisted. I'm telling him, like, I'm here. I'm here. I'm rational, but my body is just like gone. You would have thought I was twisted, and I wasn't. I don't know what happened, but I don't want that repeat. So I say, I'm good. You want to sip?
Like 2 days.
But it was messed up. One shot. Yeah.
Down for like 2
I told him it must have been the body adapting to that shot and the flash at the same time. But I ain't talked to the doctor about it, so I just let it slide.
But it was crazy. We definitely was out of there. Had to get her home in the bed, in the bathroom, in the bed, back to the bathroom, back
my
to the
clothes.
bed.
I couldn't make it upstairs. I was right here.
It was crazy. So we got through it though. Shout out to you.
I was saying again, thank you for taking care of me. I'm sorry, child.
And you guys want to know what makes it so beautiful is that when we first met, here you go. She want to go to a hotel. She got her E&J.
I was trying to be grown.
Jacuzzi. She wanted to be grown. She all of 20 years old.
I was trying to be one of them ho-ho-hos.
You was trying to be a chicken ho-ho.
Like, let's go get this bottle and this weed, take you to the hotel. And,
and I don't even drink E&J. I'm looking at her like,
I ain't noticed, man.
That's what you drink?
Okay.
Okay. This is gonna be fun.
I probably had a shot then. I don't even think it was like a lot. I thought I was gonna do some wild stuff, but yeah, that didn't happen. In the jacuzzi,
that night.
Throwing up all over the place. I don't even remember.
Yeah.
But I woke up and he took care of me. I was all cleaned up. Yeah, it was good. I said, I
didn't know her.
I vet him good. I said, that's good. He gonna take care of me when I'm sick. He didn't take advantage of me. It smelled balls on my face.
Right. Wake up and everything all. Ooh, why is that so?
He said, she said.
Shooting. She filling your head with he said, she said. They shooting.
Even the kids came in here. It was like, what is wrong with Bobby?
Wow.
Thank you for taking care of me, man.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Appreciate
That's what I'm here for. Mona D checked in. Hey, Mona, hope you're doing well. That's all I've been hearing about the hot flashes on social media this week.
Yeah.
She said, Lord have mercy.
If you live long enough, it's gonna come, honey.
They something.
Just prepare
yourself. They fun to watch, though. They fun.
Yeah.
You got this.
Yeah.
They get easier as they go along, but it takes a while.
Yeah.
So.
And if you don't know, it'll probably scare the crap out of you. So, definitely prepare yourself for the body changes, because it changes.
Indeed.
Overnight.
Indeed. And I don't know how to handle a woman, so I had to research it. I had to read a lot of books. I had to call Princella twice, I think, because you know me.
I think I might saw that email.
I'm incapable of love, and I don't, I don't know how to handle. Y'all don't know how to handle it, but
no, he did an abundance of research. It was awesome.
I've been sitting next to her for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my journey started. I was probably like 37, 38. It was crazy. So 10 years later, found the answers, had to do some stuff, couple surgeries, but yeah, it was crazy.
This is cutting up, sis. Do not encourage this chat to start. Y'all been good so far. Hey, Bella on the check-in, red lipstick vibes, Mona D,
hey,
almond eyes,
all right now.
Goodness gracious.
Muslim girls training in general civilization class that was established by the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and now headed by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. These training units, how to keep house, how to rear their children, how to take care of their husbands, sew, cook, and in general, how to act at home and abroad are the foundation of a civilized society. They form the basis of every civilization. And to the degree the woman can execute and master these training units will determine the degree of civilization, the level of civilization. This is why the honorable...
Shout out to the Lionesses checking in. You guys see their names scrolling at the bottom. I appreciate them so much. And like that, sister was speaking to how to act at home and abroad. When you're at home and when you're not at home, the way you carry yourself, the way you behave, that protects me as a man. I protect you physically, but you protect me also with your demeanor, with your decorum, with your ladylike nature. It protects my image. It protects our family name. It protects me from having to go out and defend your honor from getting into it with some man unnecessarily.
Or a woman.
So, what do you think about what we're speaking about today? Little kids, big kids, how our actions affect our children, and how the sister alluded to how to act at home and how to act outside of your home.
Right. I mean, and it's an etiquette. It is some type of training that needs to happen, and it doesn't have to be under the Islamic faith or the Christian faith. Just how you respectfully show morality in your home. Like, that's very important. You can't be disrespectful and don't follow the basic rules in your own home and then expect your children to, and that's the kind of environments we grew up in. Do as I say and not as I do. Right. And, you know, yeah, I can smoke crack, just you can't. You know what I mean? Like, it was just amazing. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's important for us to teach that type of etiquette. And for me, I ain't gonna front. I always have the children go out with me, even when they was little, because, you know, it keeps me in control. You know, I come from the hood, man. You can take me out the hood, but the hood is always going to be in there. So learning that restraint and that temperance is something that I really needed young, because I don't want to get myself into anything. You know, I don't want to have to call on him. I never wanted to have to call on my brothers. So it was something that I knew that I needed to make sure I respect people outside of my house. You know, even if I want to be a little funky with my brothers and fight back and forth and carry on, I knew that I couldn't go out in the street and behave that way. And they let me know that, because they showed me, even if the big brother was smaller than me, he was still stronger than me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So just that battle, tit for tat with them, I learned that way by not having a father saying, now you better not do that, because, you know, so they were the ones like, yeah, don't go out in the street and act like this. So learning that is important. And it's something that we've always, you know, thrived on in here. You know, you hear me say to the kids, you see me act like that? Am I mean? And, you know, Black gratitude and the kindness, you always reflect and say, Mommy, you're so kind, because they'll see me help the elders. Absolutely. Always reach out and put the cart back or whatever the case may be. So, yeah, you got to model it. You can't just, you know, dictate.
You do.
You have to model it.
I agree. Shout out to our sister. Take heed to the messages. Checking in. Welcome. Appreciate you, sis. She is exchanging pleasantries.
Appreciate you,
and
sister.
Pulling up and pulling in. We appreciate you so much.
Bella Rings is in the building.
Bella Rings pulled up and pulling in. Appreciate y'all. Everybody is answering Dr. Nakumbe's question. Awesome. And let's go ahead and reset the table. We were talking about big kids and little kids take heed. And it was centered around children's observe more than we realize. It's an article that I read in a Creative Counseling Center article. Mm-hmm. And they say how modeling impacts our children's behavior. I believe we were up to number 5.
4. It's 4.
4?
It's 4.
Okay.
Yeah. Motivation. The child is motivated to continue the modeled behavior.
Absolutely. Children observe more than we realize. Parents have the power to positively shape their children. Action speaks louder than words. All of these things.
Yeah. Parents have the power to negatively shape their children as well. Mm-hmm. Children observe more than you realize. The children motivated to continue the modeled behavior. So if there's toxic behaviors, you know, disrespectful behaviors, you know, those behaviors, of course, they're going to continue to exhibit as well, especially if they see the results. If mom is so cantankerous and the people that she's cantankerous with backs the hell off, you know, that kind of result, or they get what they want, the person gave the money back, or they see that it works. And not just that, they feel the rush. They feel the rush of adrenaline. Your adrenaline is pumping. They're afraid, scared, shocked. All of that has got them riled up too. So it's something that they can find exciting and, you know, become a habit. Like, I yearn for that. Oh yeah, mommy's about to go in. You have some kids like that. Like, yeah, ma, about to call my mom. It's going down. So yeah, all of that can be picked up, you know, whether they know it's wrong or not. And it's like, I can't control myself because it's something I've learned, you know, it's hard. Okay. Little Kids, Big Kids.
She's white,
bright, and all right.
Does that make a difference?
Ooh, ooh.
Here's a kid, right? She a little lighter. Trigger warning. Goes to the panel, looking for your thoughts. Okay. Let's see. My older daughter said her little brother, I finally caught them. I have to call her.
I have to call or tell anyone. I don't want my family busted up and kids taken away. Thoughts from the chat.
Okay. My older daughter said her little brother, whatever.
S-aid.
Oh, okay. My older daughter S-aid her little brother.
Okay.
I finally caught them.
Okay.
Do I have to call or tell anyone?
Don't want my family busted and kids taken away. Right. Thoughts from the chat.
Damn.
A call for concern or advocacy may not necessarily get the kids taken away. you know, depending on the age, depending on what particular acts have happened, it just may be a lack of understanding of children, you know, and they learn in their bodies and they don't know, and people didn't have the conversation with them.
That's not okay.
You know, it's still not okay. Absolutely. Yes, it's still not okay, but counseling may ensue, you know, some other things, but not necessarily someone getting in trouble.
I got you.
You understand what I'm saying? Now, if it's some forcibly, she's older and, you know, it really depends. Now, that's a situation where it depends, you know, because if he's 10 and she's 16 and she's pouncing on him, like, we know this type of stuff absolutely happens. But make the call. It's not something you sit on, because it can be a behavior that, you know, goes into adulthood in a negative way, and it's being exhibited on other children, you know. So you definitely don't want to do that. You want to protect other people's children as well from your goddamn kid, girl or boy.
Questions I've had in my private practice,
yes,
and or psychology autopsies. So yeah, shout out to you, Doc, for
yes, we appreciate the
conversation. Yeah. Absolutely, brother.
He's not a play
represent doctor. Your family at all times. Talk about it. Red lipstick vibes, where the vibe is always positive.
Okay.
Got a couple of answers to Dr. Nkumbe's question.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see. Sis is snitching. Sis said I'm telling. Mandated. I'm reporting. It's mandated. And I'm reporting it.
Not on my watch. Not on my watch. Will you disrespect?
12-year-old girl touched in daycare or school or little cousin. Now, as a teen, she's handling her little brother, having him do things with body parts. Do you report it?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
You do.
She needs counseling because something may have happened to her, and in turn, she's exhibiting that to him, you know, whether it's torture because it was done to me, or I just want you to experience it because it feels good, you know.
And it's not going to stop based on history and what we know. If someone doesn't intervene and try to get her the necessary help and recognize it's not going to stop.
Yes. Yes. And again, you know, and this is why on my page I promote and always talk about the anatomy of the body. Like, children is something that we can teach them from really little, like diaper stages of the appropriate names for their body. So they're very conscious of their body. So in turn, if something like that happens, you're going to know, because your child is going to say something that you ain't teach them. You understand what I'm saying? And they know that this is private because you've told them. Even by 2.5, 3 years old, they comprehend so much more than you think. We just got to give them the tools to advocate for themselves, because they will. They'll say, no, I don't want you to see my privates, or no, I need to go in the bathroom and pee by myself. Like, they're pretty smart.
Absolutely.
The more tools and tips we give them and model for them verbally, articulately, they'll model that. They'll absolutely model that. Yes.
I remember my first time in college, and I would find myself to keep going because I am teaching perseverance versus quitting because of my height of self-sabotage.
Okay.
Or hate of self-sabotage.
Okay.
We are examples of the value
we set in.
Absolutely. We set in motion. Absolutely. Okay. Let's go ahead and check out this next banner.
Just like children model our positive and perceived good actions, they also model our less than ideal behaviors. Here are examples of commonly modeled negative behaviors. Spending too much time on your cell phone or iPad, but scolding your children for watching too much television or being on their phones or their iPads. Something to think about. You know, some households have a bucket. Put it in the bucket certain times of the day where, you know, you guys are out. It's out your face. So regulate it. You can. It's hard.
Just being a hypocrite. Yeah. Don't be a hypocrite. Yeah, don't do that. I know it's a common conversation in this space, particularly now. Does the example have to live the life that they're telling you? Does the message have to equal up? Yeah, it always has had to.
Yeah.
Always. Y'all the only ones that create new narratives for stuff that everybody freaking knows already. Don't be a hypocrite. Don't live one way and then tell them to live another way. Didn't I create a whole profession, a lucrative profession? And I wasn't trash. I was, give me a little bit of time, and I was on my way.
Yeah.
But I said, nah, Nikki, I cannot be on that TV with girls dancing around me and me throwing money in the air and then coming home and telling the girls to be honorable, respectable women. And they're going to be like, Daddy, we watch you on the TV.
It's like some of the entertainers now with their children. Disrespectful as hell.
No integrity. And again, we want to have conversations about all the things it could possibly be when it's one thing: integrity. Standards. Well, maybe that's two things.
Standards. Yeah. And they watch too much TV. I say 2024, play more games with them, yo. Monopoly is never old. Life is never old. Scrabble is never old. Uno is never old.
Wow. Y'all are the
crazy.
craziest.
The littlest one is the champ, yo. She be whipping our tail.
Board games bring the family together. Scrabble make you bring out a dictionary. Because I'm going to cheat. I don't know that word, so you don't know it's wrong.
It's not a word.
Like,
I gotta look that up.
Board games bring the family together.
Sure.
So spending too much time on your cell phone while telling them to get off the TV and get off the computer.
Yeah.
We try to be very concentrated. That's why we don't have the watch hours that we require, because we come on for an hour, 2 hours, very concentrated, get all our day situated.
Yeah. That's why I changed my day Sunday from 1 to later in the evening. You know, so
and they should have seen you trying to scramble around and get everything done. Get Maddie up, get it together, get your dinner prep, get this straight.
By 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
Yeah.
And still get it done. And we still make
absolutely.
a nice scheduled Sunday of it. But imagine the people who don't time manage well, the people who don't model positive behavior for their children, that are hypocrites right in front of their children, that yell at people all week, call them MFers and H's, and talk about their hair and talk about
that's crazy. They do it in public, so I can imagine at home, anywhere. Only place I don't see it is in the library. So shout out to the library. I don't see it in the library, but everywhere we go, even Madison be like, dang.
Sis said no cheating, brother. I'm cheating. Sis, if they don't know the words, if they ain't got the dictionary right there, I'm going in. Superfluosiosis, that's a word. What you talking about? I had a superfluosiosis the other day. Shout out to Quantum checking in. How you doing, love?
Hey now.
Hope you had a good week. Start of your week so far. It's like the pot calling the kettle. Yo, kettle.
I mean, and kids know that
kettle?
Early. This is why, I always say, how many times they are smart. They are very smart. Even if you don't teach them the school stuff, they're pretty smart, man. They understand that you're a liar.
They can see it.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
they can see it. You're a whole liar, ma.
And they know you teach them to be a liar. Once they try to check you or tell you something, you got this in your eye, or mommy, you got something, or your breath stink, or any of that, we get offended. You don't like that. Some parent might scold them or whatever. I just be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go brush my mouth. Thank you for telling me, But some parents don't receive it well, and they find it as disrespect. So I don't think they realize that they're kind of teaching their child to lie now. Now, I don't want to tell you now because you might pop me in my lip, but your breath stink.
Doc said, last question. Keep them coming, Doc. If you got them, y'all in the chat, y'all can fire any questions at us. We got some kids, they old, and we've been through some stuff. So let them.
I've been babysitting since I was 9.
We claim to be conscious. We've been told that we are very conscious parents, but we proclaim ourselves that we are astute and conscious parents, and we wave our flag on that. So if y'all got some questions, bring them. Last question: if there is time to address 4, 5, 6 CeeLo.
Okay,
that's CeeLo in my neighborhood.
Okay. Been there, done that.
Okay, so they got CeeLo worth for kids. CeeLo Kids deep.
Too tired. Okay, can't
discipline like before. How can I get re-energized?
Self-reflection, or they all going to jail.
Damn, jail will re-energize.
Jail, drugs, pregnant, young. Like jail, drugs, pregnant, young. Jail, drugs, pregnant, young.
Okay.
You're best to get motivated and energized. That means you need to exercise. You need to drink more water, change your eating habits. Our children would change if we change. Ain't gonna lie.
I was going to hang my hat on diet. You got to start with the diet and kind of see if you can get them on board with a regimen and falling into that discipline. And I think that the diet may start the ball rolling down the hill. Maybe it could get bigger with time.
Yes.
But, starting to change the way we eat is going to change my tiredness too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's going to heal up that reproductive system, ladies, as well. Because I talked about that too all last year. It's all connected to our brain. If there is ailments going on down there silently that you are unaware of, it will have your brain acting up. Depression, anxiety, sadness, just overwhelming fluctuations of sadness is low progesterone. So it's a lot of things that, we don't know about our bodies and we blame it on everything else.
Indeed.
You know what I mean? So being more aware of that and having that checked out can eliminate, your frustration or irritation with your children. Indeed. Because we don't have time, lady mothers, we don't have time for that. You don't have time for that because they grow up every day. And if you make that attitude and mindset a habit, it's going to be hard to get out of it. So 30 days of positive affirmations, all your phones can do it. Alexa, tell me a positive affirmation. Look in the mirror and say something positive that you like about yourself. But you also have to reflect on the things that you need to work on and ask your children. You might not want to hear it, but ask your children because they'll tell you, mommy, you can talk to us a little nicer.
Indeed.
But you can tell them I need you to do a little more, but you got to write down the list. They need to see it. You need to mean it.
True indeed.
It's a lot of things that we can do, but our changed behavior will get those children to change as well.
Because like we said, they are watching. And if it ever comes a time where they're asked to act like you.
Girl, you is crazy. Judy, go clean your room. Like, leave me alone. Like, I'm on my business on my phone. Go do your kid business.
Wake up.
Jody, what you want? Like, I already got your food in the fridge. Got a roof over your head. I pay the bills. And you know well not to touch my thermostat because I'll be whooping out. You heard me? You lucky I can't cuss. Because Grandma on the phone right now. Hey, girl, he been doing good and everything. The teachers called me. ELA teacher called me. Yeah, he doing good. But he know the drill. If he be bad, I'm going to tear out ass up.
They model the behavior. Again, when they're asked to mimic your behavior, look at what they do. They jump right on the couch, put a bonnet right on their head, put a robe right on, and start ordering you around, talking to you mean, threatening to hit you, probably even hitting you.
Ooh.
This is the behavior that they see.
Right.
Again, they learn so much more than we think.
Right.
But when you ask the children to act like they mamas, the first thing they do is jump on the couch or jump on the bed and put something on their head, grab their phone, and tell you to do some stuff. Go and get me and Junior, get me a cup of tea, get Junior something, get him washed up and get him to bed.
Yeah, if you don't know, Act Like Me challenge on TikTok. Got the kids acting like them. And they think it's funny. The parents think it's funny. And it's not. It shows the, how your children see you and how you talk to them. And they allow some of them to go as far as cussing and everything. I was like, oh, okay. That's how your children see you? Shit.
Let's go to the next one.
Gossiping about people in your social circle, but telling your children not to speak poorly of others.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Let me tell you something. That mean girl shit is real and it still exists. Your mama was mean, your grandmama was mean, and now your daughters is mean and they in school being mean. Still mean girls. Your hair is ugly. Why your shoes look like that? La, la, la. Still same catty, bitter, and mean. Little girls. Why? Where do you get that from? Where y'all get that from? That's why I grew up in a house with a whole bunch of boys. And I say, people used to ask us when our children was growing up, your girls don't fight. No, they don't. They don't. Yeah. Simple rules. They all 5 years apart. What y'all fighting for? Everybody got their own stuff, give them their individual respect. It's hard to treat your children differently. People act like I treat all my kids the same. No, you don't.
No.
You're lying asses. You're lying right there.
No.
Stop it. You don't. They're all different.
I mean, and this is why they don't want to have these conversations, because it leads to, so maybe I can love another woman down the street and still love my wife at home differently. Yes. Maybe I can love my long-term girlfriend and love my baby mother differently.
Yes.
And instead of them becoming sisters and leaning on each other for support and being that feminine, nurturing quality that they've been desiring, they rather push them away and start fighting because they're sharing the same dick that they've been sharing anyway, unbeknownst to them.
Right.
So again, for me, it's the way
and if
that
they still plan on continuing to share, bitch, get along.
They're not quitting.
Stop it.
You're not quitting.
Don't fight. It's not even,
And you want to know how I know you're not quitting him?
Who's winning?
Is because
he's staying with both of y'all.
You ain't got no standards. So y'all would rather sleep with him in competition. Yeah, chick, I'm sleeping with him because if you was doing what you was supposed to do, he wouldn't have to come over here to me.
Well, shit. Yeah.
Or Barbara, my name is Stacy. Maybe you're a little older. Barbara, this is Shirley.
Shirley. Hey, Shirley. Is Reggie over there with you?
I mean, the cleanup woman.
Could you send him home Thursday?
But again, this is how I know. This is how I know it's about superiority. It's not about equality and coexisting. Modern women want to be superior to everybody. And the behavior that they model, again, if they modeled more positive behavior, if they got that superiority with their feminine wiles, with their ladylike behavior, with dropping a handkerchief and having a gentleman pick it up, we would be all for it, the whole society. But because you want to get your superiority like how men got it from guns and violence,
being aggressive, and loud,
you're going
forceful,
about it the wrong way.
Dominating. Yeah.
You have so many other qualities that you can achieve the same goal. So,
probably more.
Gossiping about other people in social circle, but telling your children not to speak.
And they pay attention to that. Just talking, in another room, thinking that they don't hear. They hear it. They hear it. Closing the door. Yeah, kids snoop at the door. They listening in. They hearing you talk about grandma behind her back. They hear you talk about their daddy behind their back.
Yeah.
They hear you talk about their sibling behind their back.
All day.
You know what I mean? So it's a lot of that. And they that's a modeling. Yeah, they're gonna go out into the world and exhibit that.
Girl, you is crazy. Judy, go clean your room. Like, leave me alone. Like, I'm on my business on my phone. Go do your kid business.
Ma, wake up.
Judy, what you want? Like, I already got your food in the fridge. Got a roof over your head. I pay the bills. And you know well not to touch my thermostat because you know I'll be whooping out.
Could you guys imagine if a man talked to a woman like that? If a husband talked to his wife like that, it would be all types of smoke. How dare you talk to her like that? That's disrespectful. But y'all could talk to the kids however y'all want.
Right, because we birthed them.
But I inseminated you with them. You held it for 9 months. It was walking around inside of me for 26 years.
Right. But that's the dominating force of the mothering. I have that ability. I brought your ass in this world.
But you got a C-section. But you got a C-section.
Don't matter. Still came out.
But you got an epidural to do it.
I needed some help.
It wasn't natural.
Yeah, I didn't say natural. So you just did it. Just brought a child to life.
This is they don't care. Hang it over our head. You can't dang.
They hang it over the children's head.
I had the child.
You hang it over the children's head.
You got help. The doctor helped you have the child.
I gave birth to your ass.
Helped you have that shit. If it was you by yourself, just you and your midwife, we still be here waiting. Because you eat horribly.
It probably wouldn't happen.
You shape like I ain't even gonna say.
You better thank God for
You
science,
have
because
no
everybody is not
discipline,
meant
no
for it
standards,
to
no
come on
morals.
out.
So you don't go to the gym, you don't work out, you don't prepare for your body before and
For
after
it
the
to
baby.
happen.
No consciousness of the baby. Just I'm having a baby here. This is what they do. Hand me this over there. I'm having a
Get
baby.
me that.
And then after they have the baby, they say, hand me this over there. I just had a baby. When do the victim mentalities stop?
Right, we want to be coddled the whole way through. I don't know. I wasn't like that. No.
You're a victim. Here we go, CSI.
I had to be told, don't do that. Stop doing that. Why you doing that? Don't lift that. Very capable. Yeah, it's a victim mentality. It's absolutely, we use it to manipulate. Because women were strong, and when I hear this, women didn't have to do this and that. Yeah, they was always working. Always with the babies on their back.
Always.
Like I look at my mama, 17 with 3 goddamn babies. My mama was working.
Always.
Okay, wiping
and you just
ass.
asked me, when did she sleep? I said, I don't know.
I swear.
I just met
I don't even reflecting on her being that
You're like,
single
when did she
parent. I'm like, and all the resources she tried to get for us being them latchkey kids, switching schools, like it was crazy.
She worked that night, and you said she was always up at somebody's school in the day.
Absolutely.
So when did she
running
sleep?
errands? She didn't. She
And
probably had a good 3.5, 4 hours, man, from
And she
5
sits
to
down
maybe
with
10.
us, and she tells us, son, the one thing I knew is that nobody was taking these kids away from me.
That's right.
I was going to do whatever I had to do to
Yeah.
keep my kids in my care so I could give them a better life. And when I listen to my elders sit down and tell me that, then I come into these spaces and then they say, we need examples, but let me tell you. And shout out to my
Shout out to the moms.
Mommy, you do it, baby girl.
Okay. Poor girl.
So we were alluding to, just like children model our positive and perceive good actions, they also model our less than ideal behavior. Here's an example of commonly modeled negative behavior. And we were up to Mrs. Harris.
Sitting on the couch all weekend, but scolding your children for being lazy. Or all week, all month, all year. Back in our day, we used to call it couch parenting. Now it's phone parenting. Parenting from the device. Because I know where he at, because, I ping him on the phone. Always saying please and thank you so children learn.
I think I jumped
that.
up. I think I skipped ahead.
That was the gossiping about people in your social circle, but telling your children not to speak poorly about people. Now we have to positive behaviors to model.
We are, because we don't want to
They
just
are
give them
some.
negative.
Absolutely.
We want to give them positive.
Yes,
suggestions as
always.
well.
Please.
So let's
and
try
thank
this
you.
one.
Always saying please
Hmm?
and thank you. So children learn that manners matter. Thank you. Okay, please. Okay. Listening to your children without interrupting them. That's hard for parents.
That's hard for adults to do to other
Yeah.
adults.
So we know you're not doing it with your kids, right?
So
you have
we
to
know
consider
you're
that.
not doing it.
Consider that. Listening to your children without interrupting them. I think we know them so well, we know what they're going to say. Still, give them a chance, give them some grace, and allow them to try to speak. It's hard.
I don't think a lot of people have patience.
You, not you. I have.
Right.
But
I'm
you
just
pretty
saying,
good.
I don't think people in general have a lot of patience.
No.
I don't think they have the capacity to sit back, allow a person to say whatever is on their mind, pauses and everything, and let them finish. Even to the point where they might have to say, yo, you want to jump in? I'm finished.
Right.
Or you going to say something? Are you there? Sometimes allow somebody to do that. Like, again,
Right.
even if you don't do it every time, I just see that people don't have the maturity or the capacity to even do it sometimes. Every time somebody pause, well, you pause. Yeah, I wasn't
thought
finished.
you was done.
You don't have any, relax.
Yeah.
Relax. You like a little kid playing dodgeball.
Right.
You can't wait to get in. Chill.
And you have to consider when children are being asked something, the pressure in their little minds to like, do they want me to tell the truth? You know what I mean? It's a lot going on in there when they're with the kid. You know,
Picasso picture.
how do they want me to answer this? Do they want me to be the truthful kid today? Is it, yeah.
And that's why you just let them go.
Yeah. Try not to interrupt them. So they learn that their voices are important. Okay. Too, and to listen while others are speaking. So they're learning that. They will learn that their voice is important and to listen while others are speaking.
Yes, they will.
So if you are constantly interrupting your child, best believe when they go into school, they ain't listening. You know, again, you don't realize you're building these negative characteristics up in your children because they're not getting enough of you. They're not getting enough of you. And that's all they want. That's all they want, man.
What sticks out to me, missus, is the people that say, you know, I can do these things. I just cut it on and off when I want to.
Yeah.
When I'm in front of you,
I hear that.
I don't say please. I don't say thank you. I'm cutting people off. I'm over talking. But, you know, whenever I really want to, I go to this, you know, super professional, I guess, version of me where I flip the switch and I don't do this.
You just turn it on.
I don't believe it.
Right. Yeah, no, me neither. Me neither.
I don't believe it at all.
The condescending. Yeah, no, you're that way with your children. Yeah. Yeah. Self-reflection.
Out interrupting.
Because they're going to grow up, man. They're going to grow up. They might have something really nasty to say to you. They might burn down your house or, you know, delete you in your sleep. So be mindful.
Shit, the burning bed. This is a good one. I like this one right here. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Cleaning up your own messes so children learn how to be responsible for their belongings and living space. Yeah. And that takes a lot of training. Takes a lot of training. Years and years and years of training.
Especially if you take the time to give them the things that they need. They got a room filled up with posters and games and electronics and arts and crafts. And you took all the time to get them all of these things that they want. They can curate this space. This is their space. You want it to look a certain way. Do you need a certain decorum around here? You want certain pictures, but you're going to be in charge of this space.
Yes. 2 years old. I mean, it's from the time they can walk, they can clean up. Okay. Clean up. Everybody, everywhere. Clean up. Okay. You know, teach them to be responsible. They have to clean up behind themselves. So just picking up their clothes, you know, they throwing bottles down and stuff like that. No, they have to pick it up. Don't yell at them. You wait, you sit on that floor and you make them pick it up. You wait there patiently till they pick it up.
Yes, indeed. Doesn't change anything.
Right. So get them started early on cleaning up behind themselves. Yes. I think a lot of mothers coddle way too much. Like they don't let them brush their own teeth and, you know, now the wiping the butts. Yes, I can see we hold on to that for a little while. You want to make sure it's clean. But definitely allow them the space to do it. And
what about doing their hair?
Wrong. Oh my goodness, hair.
On shit, yeah, gripping my stick, yeah, 7 of the day, like who? Beefing on the fool, yeah, put up with a tool so hard, trying to school, like who? Bone on y'all, what's he took on my ball, yeah, I'm feeling like dog, like who? So I chop in the morning, you go on a song.
Yeah, that no. I mean, to me, that's self-hate. You're already teaching them to not like themselves. Okay. 2-year-olds don't need to have frontals on, and it's your, you know, all little people don't have hair. You have to be patient, give it time to grow. And if you do the right things to it, it'll grow. Oil, moisture, manipulate. Oil, moisture, manipulate.
Absolutely.
Most babies are balding in the back and around the sides and stuff. You know, it is what it is. It's not something for you to be ashamed of because they don't care. Absolutely. They don't care. You care. You teach them to care about it. You teach them to hate themselves.
See where the consciousness comes in at?
Especially with that. Beautiful Black girls with their beautiful little hair. How many times I have to compliment them because you have already taught them to not like themselves. And then when they see me and they see mines, I got to flip the whole script because they admire mines. And I have to, in turn, tell them how beautiful their hair is and how I admire their coily hair. And they should wear it natural themselves and how to put moisture in it and oil in it. You know, so all those things I built with these young ladies. And I see that y'all are teaching them to hate themselves.
Shout out to the
that one is better than the other. Okay.
Nope.
They got that 4C grade. They got some beautiful coily hair. One unlocked up. Yeah. We all had locks in this house.
Angela Davis.
Child,
with a big old afro.
Love it.
Sarah
But-
said, yes, absolutely. Please and thank you.
Please and
Bella
thank you.
said,
Beautiful brown
we
babies.
sing the cleanup song
Yes.
in my house.
Mhm.
Clean up,
please.
everybody, everybody.
Yeah, Barney was definitely a member of our family.
Hell
Just
yeah.
saying. I remember in foster care, I would have to make my bed with the military corners, learn by example. Absolutely. It was
Yep.
hospital corners when we coming up. So I
Yep.
kind of taught the kids the same way. They don't like the flat sheet anyway. So it's just, the fitted sheet and blankets.
That's right.
Like
Mona
this is
said,
just too
yep.
much.
My babies was cleaning when they could walk.
Absolutely.
I just did a bathroom sweep and asked if they
could see what could be
could be
done
done.
out of place in the room, their bathroom, yes, etc.
I'm telling Madison, grab that, get that, look at this. What can you grab around here? Get this right. Like this is your space, and it's a nice space. Like look at all of the things that you have. Like you good over here. You're going to maintain that, and that's the same appreciation we hope she has when she's an adult. Like I have nice things, I want to keep them nice.
And it's not just about the things, but the more organized your space is, the more creative you can be. Like how creative you gonna be with a junky ass room? You can't find nothing. Clothes all over the place, bed ain't made, everything is spilled out all over the place. Like what kind of creative you gonna be?
That baby is so cute. Why they do that?
And even if they were joking, sis, they probably was. Don't put them nasty ass lashes on them babies. I went to the cosmetology school when I was 19 years old, and the boogies and everything is everybody has bugs on their body. You should not share makeup at all. Makeup, wigs, weaves, eyelash, lip stuff, none of it shouldn't be sharing.
Children are not
especially on the
toys.
babies. They're not toys.
That's right. I don't like a top sheet though. Yeah, I'm not mad at you. It feels a little constricting. I'm not mad at you, Sarah. Not mad at you.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Even with that, there's a hospital fold for that fitted sheet to where it won't be so tangling, but it still restricts.
Yeah. I'm crazy with the covers too. I'll steal all the covers.
Yes, my son cleans too much. All my paper towels.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Shout out to Caleb,
Yeah,
man.
Cashapp or Red Lipstick Vibes for some paper towels for Caleb.
Cashapp for Red
Any
Lipstick
gifts
Vibes.
cases would be great.
Oh my goodness, y'all are crazy.
My household, my husband doesn't like the top sheet. Men don't like to be tied down.
Right.
Okay,
Like
that's too much restriction. We be fighting.
That's right.
My legs feel like I'm in a coffin.
We have our own covers because I'm always stealing the covers. Sarah, would you?
That's love. That's
Sarah,
okay.
what are you doing over there? Stealing all the covers from my man. Jesus.
You used to take it personal. Now it's like, okay, we might as well just get separate covers. It's not that I don't want to share.
That's right. It's just, it's just, don't be like us. Young couples, don't be like us.
Little kids don't follow these dope ass.
Don't be like us, young couples. Share them covers.
Share the covers.
Be more empathetic about them covers.
Until you start getting on two different thermostats.
Oh, Lord, have mercy. That's a whole nother stream. Okay, let's see. Where were we? Let's get back to
wasn't it the positive modeling?
Yeah, positive.
Positive behaviors to model include apologizing to your child or other family members when you lose your temper. So your child knows that they don't have to be perfect and it's okay to say, I'm sorry.
That would be me. Yeah. I'd rather say sorry than, I'm your best friend. Go ahead. You can do it. Go ahead. Smoke crack. Go. Please go. Jump off the roof. Go. No, I would rather be dad, you're trying to ruin my life. Dad, I can't stand him. And then come back, double back and say, baby girl, I know we got off to a start. I know I took a stance, but I'm your dad. This is what I do. I'm here to protect you, and I apologize, and I can always double back, but I have to take my initial stance. So apologizing to your child, to your family, I have no problem with that, because I have no problem with pointing out constructive criticism, compliments, kudos, and so on and so forth. So being able to man up and say, yo, you know what, my bad. I have to be able to do that.
Yeah. And with me, I'm more articulate with them because, again, I'm more of an emotional creature. I might react because my emotions are in it. So I'll definitely say, mommy was a little frustrated. I was a little annoyed because of this or that. I'll always, articulate that it's not them. Mommy got something else going on, or I was into something else, or whatever the case may be. But if I'm wrong, I'm absolutely wrong. I'm gonna say it, but yeah, definitely pointing out that it's not them,
And last but by no means least, Mrs. Harris.
Remember to model good behavior for children so they'll grow up with healthy behaviors that lend themselves to healthy, productive life. Yeah. I mean, in them just basic manners, man, and trying to keep that open communication with them. Because when they get older, they will pull away, and if they go to school, they're going to learn to pull away even faster, depending on the people that they choose to be around, right? Because they pick up some stuff and they, can absolutely adapt the victim mentality from a friend. Any of those things, because they feel so closely connected, right? Because first time you get outside your home, you're going to connect with some other people. So just try to, also vet their friends, because you're going to see where some of them behaviors is being picked up, because you see that friend and you're like, oh, okay, I see where you getting it from. Like, yeah, be you, continue to be you, love your friend, but you don't have to pick up their behaviors.
Absolutely.
Don't forget to Hulk smash that like, share, subscribe.
So I got a video I want to tie into this whole conversation we've been having. You guys take a look at this.
Expecting things from our kids that we ourselves are not doing. Like how you want a 6-year-old to be a better you than you. The point that I'm trying to make is that the most effective way to parent is to model behaviors. A lot of times kids don't do as you say, they do as you do. You have to make sure that the words that you're using and the values that you're displaying are actually in alignment. If you're on your kids about their grades, but you are not modeling motivation, if you are lazy, it's going to be very hard for them to respect that. If you want your kids to speak kinder to you, but you at the grocery store yelling at the cashier because she made a mistake, it's going to be hard for your kids to respect that. Don't be a walking contradiction, because it is confusing, and you are the best person to model the behaviors that you want to see, because your kids are around you all the time. Now, of course, in all this, you still want to remember to be respectful to your kids, because if not, you can walk the walk and talk the talk, and they still ain't going to listen.
What do you think, Mrs. Harris?
I agree with her. Absolutely. We got to get better control of ourselves, especially when we out in the street, especially around our children. Because that here in Baltimore, goodness gracious, the way some of these ladies talk to their children is amazing. And I say to you a lot, if it was 10 years earlier, I probably would be dragging them by the back of their head.
You told me, you said it might be,
you can't be going to
might
jail.
be going down.
So that mandated
like,
reporter thing is something, when you don't know people, how can you report? She could have just be frustrated that day. But I mean, I've literally seen women, haul off and smack their kids at a register, smack a little girl at a register, or, and you don't know what these kids are going home to. Because if you can do all that right there in front of all these people, I can imagine how the child is being treated at home,
I mean, like I was saying, just the way the children model our behavior, this video, spoke volumes to me.
Expecting things from our kids that we ourselves are not doing. Like how you want a 6-year-old to be a better you than you.
You're not even being a better you. How do you want this child to be a better? How do you give them the tools to be better? You can't help them with their homework. You don't ask them probing questions. You don't relate to their high school experience other than the way you behave in the background. the way you treat the cash register, the cashier at the store. All of these things are, models of behavior. They're examples and suggestions. And when our kids see us behave a certain way, they'll think it's okay to yell at people. It's okay to belittle people. It's okay to be mean to people. Again, with you doing what you do, Madison notices behaviors. She doesn't say, Mommy, look at her. Her shoes are dirty. She doesn't say, Mommy, look, I think her bag is fake. She don't say that. She says, why is she behaving like that? Why is she acting like that, Mommy? She shouldn't be acting like that.
And now she's noticing the dress because it's wintertime. It's cold out. And she turned around and she was like, she tapping me all crazy. And I turned around and she was like, girl had a puffy coat. Her whole stomach was hanging out. Child, the Ugg mugs, the jeans. It was just a hot mess. And my baby noticed, like, oh, I said, yeah,
Once you see it, you can't unsee it. It's like the jury. You hear it, you can't unhear it. This girl is 9 years old, but she's coming up with the consciousness that behavior is important.
And
the way
not just
we present ourselves is important.
She got siblings. She got older sisters that she's looking at too, and they don't go out here half naked. And Ashanti, she knows the difference. That Ashanti's a little more grown, and Ashanti may dress up, to go out or whatever the case may be. But child,
they are some bold and despicable parents for sure.
And sis, I think they do it to get somebody to say something. You know what I mean? They show how cantankerous they can be, waiting for someone to say, yo, why you doing that? Or stop doing that, or something. You know what I mean? So they can pop off. Yeah, it's amazing. But people are sneaky. It's the quiet abuse that scares me. Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, yeah. And once you're around children so much, some things you can kind of see, but you don't want to, assume. You don't want to assume. And that's a little empathic thing some people may have. But some people, you have a connection. You have a connection to children. And some things you can kind of read, body language and such, especially if you're around them for some time. So the more comfortable they get around you, they may be more comfortable to express that something may be going on. So be that light.
Absolutely.
If you possibly can.
Absolutely.
In a young child's life.
The point that I'm trying to make is that the most effective way to parent is to model behaviors. A lot of times kids don't do as you say, they do as you do. You have to make sure that the words that you're using and the values that you're displaying are actually in alignment. If you're on your kids about their grades, but you are not modeling motivation, if you are lazy, it's going to be very hard for them to respect that.
It's very hard to respect a hypocrite. Contrary to popular belief, and again, the conversation that's trying to be started in this space in 2024, I cannot believe that we have grown people that claim to be mature asking, should the message line up with the message? That shit is disrespectful to all our ancestors, to society, to common sense. Should you act like the way you talking, or can you go out, murder, rape, kill? We have small channel. We can say whatever words. And step up to me and say, turn the other cheek. Love every man like your brother. Love every man like Christ loved the church. I could say all of that while going out and gangbanging and credit card scamming at night. That's crazy. And for grown-ups to even try to entertain this question like y'all don't know the answer to it, it just shows y'all are still high school mentality, big kids.
Big kids. The big kids are back in town.
You're not adults. You're big kids looking for reasons to champion nigga behavior, wondering if the message and the messenger should line up. Let me tell you what I heard today. I heard somebody, one of the popular people in this space, say, you know what? I'm going to take everybody wrenches away, and I'm just going to give wrenches to people who are actually moderating in my chat. And somebody was on the panel was like, yeah, man, you know what? So you'll actually have moderators. All of that wrench, giving everybody a wrench and da-da-da. Wow. They had to understand that everyone's job and playing your position and everyone's role being their role for a reason is the reason. It's crazy. Like I said, the investigative department over here, which is actually Mrs. She Said in Red Lipstick Vibes, These things are necessary to have a channel, to be able to have information being dispensed. You have to have somebody guarding and gatekeeping the information, the way people are acting, the behaviors that we're modeling. Somebody has to be in control of that. And when everybody got a gun, it's just the Wild Wild West walking around. I can shoot you, you can shoot me. So I'm not going to shoot you because you can shoot me. That's the only reason I'm not shooting you, is because you got a gun too. You'll shoot me. I'm not shooting you because I'm not just, you know, a nice person that don't use their gun unless it's necessary. So, you know, for me, it's the modeling of behavior in the way it presents clarity. Hindsight is 20/20, some say. So what do you think about the modeling of behavior? And like the young lady said, just being a hypocrite, displaying horrible behavior, and then trying to tell somebody to do something different. How does that usually end?
Oh man, not good. I mean, I can reflect on just growing up, you know, in the Baptist lifestyle, you know, church, and just, you know, seeing so much hypocrisy pulled me away. It didn't take from my spirituality and, you know, what I believe in Christ. But that's where I seen it. So I don't want to be that. You know, I want to talk, walk the walk. I can't.
That part.
I can't. Stuff, that fake like you kind of shit. I'm Pisces. If I don't like you, you know, because I ain't talking to you. I don't want to be around you. None of that. We ain't got time to be playing with all that. Yeah, I'll tell you straight up in your face. I don't like you. I don't want to be around you. So I'm going to exit. You know, your energy don't float on my shit. So we got to roll.
Facts.
So water gang.
Water gang.
It don't flow.
Yeah.
I got to go.
Behavior. They model it, and like the missus been saying, I said a couple of times, where they learn it from.
And what's so funny is when the kids start getting older, certain things that they do, I look like, "Ooh, that's you." It would both with all of them, you know. You see certain things, be like, "Ooh, that's your daddy." Certain things, be like, "Oh, that's your mama right there." Absolutely. So yeah, you can definitely see yourself in your children.
Absolutely. So let's monitor our behavior and be more conscious as parents, as adults, as individuals in our community, so we ain't out here looking crazy like this. They learn from our behavior.
So the elders are learning from our behavior. The elders are learning from the young people's behavior, because my elders never did behaving like that. They do that behind closed doors. Sarah said, now we got our elders disrespecting themselves. They don't find it disrespectful. This is what I'm starting to learn, that they think that shit is empowering. Maybe they didn't get to, you know, do that kind of stuff when they was young. They getting old, trying to show that they still got moves, you know, like I said, that lack of aging gracefully, you know.
Now I hear you. I just,
my
again,
mama,
when I see the little ones, you know, mimicking that behavior, and people say this is so heartbreaking, this is disheartening. Yeah, no, it's not.
Creep on in, on in, on in.
Don't get mad at me, nigga. I'm here telling the truth. If somebody else should have told you this.
Everybody wants some attention.
What was the name of the show today?
Ooh, Lil Kids, Big Kids, Big Kids, and Lil Kids.
You see why I called it that?
Holy crap.
You see why I call it that?
Who could tell them to stop? Who could tell them, Grandma, you know you ain't supposed to be up there doing all that off rhythm, looking like y'all got diapers on. That's y'all grandmamas and aunties. Stop it.
But again, this is, the consciousness. Like, I understand everybody wants to let their hair down, and there's a time and a place for everything. It is. It absolutely is. But the modeling of behavior, it's a bit much. It starts to get, there's a thin line between it already. Right, Mrs. Harris?
Mm-hmm.
But when we cultivate this atmosphere, we have the ladies that we see, which leads to the younger people that we see. But there's also an in-between. I'm going to show you the in-between.
Yeah.
The next like we can stay on the sidelines. Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah, I will do that. Yeah, it's been a long.
Oh, yeah.
It seems like 3 years.
So you're thinking, what was 8 hours sleep? You need 8 hours.
Who needs 8 hours? Yeah.
So when you're in bed, your foot's going.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad.
Well, it's good seeing you.
I was telling Michael's gotten real polished. That was a real professional closing of his.
Yes.
Wow.
So what we're getting ready to watch is a court proceeding, actual court. No Judge Mathis
No
or
skit.
Toller or anybody, so people could say this is, made up or whatever the case may be. But this is an actual court proceeding, and this judge name is Judge Boyd. And she is no joke. And what it, ultimately showed me is that there's two types of women in this world. There are no nonsense women that don't play no games. And then there are the plausible deniability, naive, I didn't know, I need answers, I need examples type. And they're very noticeable. Let's take a look at this court proceeding. She's coming in from the top right. This is her CPS worker down at the bottom, and the judge is on our left. I believe that might be your right. Let's get to it.
I don't know what it is.
All right. So, Ms. Connor, do you know why you're here? Yes. So what are you not doing that you're supposed to do? I'm sorry, you need to speak up. No, let me just tell you the report I've received. One, there's an issue with your testing positive for marijuana. You can unfurl your arm. So why are you testing positive for marijuana? No, I mean, you are, it's not a matter of you shouldn't be, you are testing positive for marijuana. So I'm trying to figure out why you're testing positive for marijuana. Are you pregnant? All right. So obviously you keep rubbing your stomach. You want me to know you're pregnant. So I've taken note of the fact that you're pregnant. So my question is.
See how no nonsense women do? They don't play.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah, you keep rubbing your stomach, so you obviously want me to notice, but I notice you're in here for smoking marijuana still. So you're pregnant? Okay, we notice. Let's continue to keep going. You're not going to be a victim here. This is court.
Why are you using marijuana when you're pregnant? No, you're still doing things. I mean, this is what ends up happening in court all the time. People want sympathy from me and mercy from me because they want to come in and let me know they're pregnant by rubbing on their stomachs and all of this. And then they're not doing things to protect their child.
Really him. You're a victim. There we go, CSI.
By using marijuana and by not taking a UA when the court tells you to take a UA. So those are issues. Now, when you do a UA today, because you are doing one, everyone needs to...
No nonsense woman right there.
You're going to give me that urine.
And you do one, what are the results going to be? All right, you're going to do a UA today. And the other issue I have, which I don't understand, the field team visited your home or where you were living. There were 3 small children in the home, ages 3, 2, and boyfriend's older child from previous relationship was in the home at the time. So
3, 2, and your boyfriend's child from a previous relationship.
Okay.
This is the behavior that the missus be speaking on when you allow anybody to be around your children.
Yeah, especially other people's children.
That's dangerous.
why are there so many children in this home?
Son was visiting and the 3 toddlers are mine.
So you have 3 toddlers. How long have you known this boyfriend? Okay. And how is your Child Protective Services case going?
Fine.
Have you been in contact with your worker? Where are you currently living? No, that's not my question. My question is, where are you currently living?
I like her. She wants the answers to her questions, not no circle talking,
Right.
not how you feel
Yeah.
or trying to deflect or move the goalpost. Answer the goddamn question. Like I said, there's 2 types of women in this world.
Yeah.
And this is the reason why there's 2 types. Y'all don't want to come against women like this. This judge, no nonsense, not trying to hear none of your excuses and your victim mentality.
Judy too.
So you're not in, are you in Bear County? Did I give you permission to leave Bear County? No, my question is, did the court give you permission to leave Bear County? That's either yes or no. Your contract is not with probation. Your contract is with the court. So I didn't give you permission to leave Bear County. And the fact that you have so many children living in your house, obviously someone has to do something to protect the children who are living in your house. And the way that is accomplished is by me requiring probation to do field visits.
Yeah, sometimes an outsider has to step in to protect the children that you won't protect.
Even from the mama. You see that
You don't
shit?
care how you feel about it.
Even when you know the space where the children are being held with the mother is unsafe, they still get to fucking stay there with some type of supervision. As long as it looks good when they pop up. It's crazy.
Somebody has to care about the children, even if it's not you.
And you are actually on probation for injury to a child by omission. And the facts of that case are the same thing that's happening in this household right now. You got children who are living there, parents who are using marijuana, whether they think it's legal or not. and constantly bringing more children into a situation when you don't have stable housing. I don't understand why people do that. You know, you don't have stable housing. You have 3-year-old, 2-year-old pregnant, and then your boyfriend has another child who's coming to visit. People keep having children and bringing them into unstable situations.
Does that answer your question, Apex? Apex checking in. He said, how bad is the mom? How bad that sound?
Sounds pretty bad.
2-3 children, allow your boyfriend to come in and bring his children, and
or just anybody. I mean, just where
Jesus
the whole
Christ.
day is just focused around marijuana, and the children are not being cared for, and just more children piling on. Yeah, no. You know, we don't beat up on the marijuana pot, but you know, you got to take care of these kids. You got to put them first. Absolutely.
And when you have 3 children in the house.
And constantly bringing more children into a situation when you don't have stable housing. I don't understand why people do that. You know, you don't have stable housing. You have 3-year-old, 2-year-old pregnant, and then your boyfriend has another child who's coming to visit. People keep having children and bringing them into unstable situations.
International Quiet Storm has one question. Where's the father? I don't know. She got a boyfriend.
Right.
That might be a conflict of interest to have a boyfriend and the father. But yeah, the father's
not in the house.
He's not in the house
at this point.
For real, I am so glad someone was looking out for the best interest, even if it didn't work out as planned. Someone had to fight for these children. You damn right. And again, we could care less if you like our approach, the way we do things to speak up for children. If there's a specific way that we have to speak up for children to make you feel good, you go ahead and get somebody else to do that, because we're not doing it. We are speaking up for children in the form of conscious parenting, and we may take another approach if we feel like it. And again, in the world where it depends and everybody's different and they can do what they want, it's funny when we start dragging these shitty ass moms. We got people saying, why you dragging shitty moms? Because
what about the dads? That's what I get. Fuck that.
I mean,
moms.
we just got it from
gotta focus on the mom. They choose to have them. Like she's saying, you sitting up in my courtroom rubbing your belly. You obviously want me to know that you're pregnant with another one, and you ain't even got a stable situation for the ones that you got already. Stop doing it. It's no joke. You're bringing children into society that you don't want to raise, you don't want to take care of, and leaving them susceptible to all kind of pedophiles and grooming, drugs, being jigged with a needle that they don't know is sitting around the house. Like, these things happen. They happen. You know, but women get coddled and they keep the privilege of having these children when we know they ain't fit. You know they ain't fit, and they just keep having more. And this is what she's being reprimanded for. You know you can't take care of the ones you got.
And we got a whole society saying how men are
just running around and pregnant,
incapable of loving and not able to, you know, acquiesce to society and thinking and reading books. Fuck out of here. You got to be kidding me.
Muslim girls training in general civilization class that was established by the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and now headed by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. These training units, how to keep house, how to rear their children, how to take care of their husbands, sew, cook, and in general, how to act at home and abroad are the foundation of a civilized society. They form the basis of every civilization. And to the degree the woman can execute and master these training units will determine the degree of civilization.
The degree of civilization. A nation can rise no higher than the morality of their women. Y'all can let people lie to you as much as you want.
Blame the men all you want. Until it won't get better, until we self-reflect on our own shit and be accountable for our own shit, our attitude, our morals, standards, lack thereof, all of it.
Good luck.
Don't apply, let it fly.
Good luck.
By me requiring probation to do field visits. And you are actually on probation for injury to a child by omission. And the facts of that case
Injuring a child by omission.
She admitted to it.
She's already in
Spitting out another
trouble.
one.
And having another one, smoking weed with the baby in her belly, with a latchkey man in her house that got another child from a previous relationship. And it's all going to turn out fine because I manifested it to be all good.
Are the same thing that's happening in this household right now. You got children who are living there, parents who are using marijuana, whether they think it's legal or not, and constantly bringing more children into a situation when you don't have stable housing. I don't understand why people do that. You know, you don't have stable housing. You have 3-year-old, 2-year-old pregnant, and then your boyfriend has another child who's coming to visit. People keep having children and bringing them into unstable situations. It amazes me that somebody would make the conscious decision to have a child, and now you're living in an Airbnb, don't have a place.
Conscious decision. Conscious
decision. The plausible deniability of women today. No, they didn't have no choice, you know, because the guys just busting nuts inside of us. Yeah, you allowed that access.
He just bust nuts.
You allowed the access.
Me.
You gotta stop getting upset with hearing the truth. Go work on your game. Don't get mad at me, nigga. I'm here telling the truth. If somebody else should have told you this.
And has another child who's coming to visit. People keep having children and bringing them into unstable situations. It amazes me that somebody would make the conscious decision to have a child, and now you're living in an Airbnb, don't have a place to stay, you're on deferred adjudication, using marijuana, moving to locations without getting the court's permission. Did you give your CPS work? Did you tell your CPS worker you're going to be moving? All right, Ms. Loper, are you the CPS worker in this case? You're muted.
The judge don't play. You better be on your fucking P's and Q's.
And that's a white gal.
Yes, I am.
Are you the CPS worker in this case?
Yes, I am.
Your volume's not on.
Okay. Yes, I am.
All right. Are you aware of Miss Connor moving to another location, not in Bexar County?
I knew that her boyfriend got a job in Austin, but they were supposed to let me know so that I could transfer the case to a worker in Austin.
So that's either, did you know she had left or did you not know?
I did not know.
See how they all the same?
Ooh,
we just being mean. We just being mean. No, you're picking on us. It's anecdotal. That's a talking point. No.
Yeah, well,
no.
he told me the boyfriend was going to do
spacey, talking around, double talk
Judges
until
don't
there's
play.
a no nonsense woman in the room that say, "Nah, we're not dealing with that shit today." You could call me a man,
Yes or
call
no.
me masculine, do all your sign language that you need to do, but that was a yes or no question, and you answered it with some other shit that wasn't a yes or no. So let's go ahead and take it back. And again, if that was a man, it would be like, oh, he's an asshole. Oh my God, he's a narcissist. Could you hear his tone? Did you hear the way he talked to her?
She ain't playing.
But it's a woman talking to another woman like that. What y'all got to say now?
Judge.
Case to a worker in Austin.
So that's either, did you know she had left or did you not know?
I did not know.
Mm-hmm. All right. And then let me just tell you the report I got from October 5th, what you're bringing your children to. Field team made contact with the defendant, and the following information was noted. Upon entry, the sofa was blocking the front door to prevent the children from walking out, which means that children are not being supervised if you have to put a sofa to block the front door.
Well, goddamn.
In the living room, there was a mattress and scattered mess all over. Her daughter was watching TV in the living room. In the front room were her two boys behind a closed door playing on a foam mattress. There was no furniture and the room was a mess. The boys walked out once the door was open. In the back room, there was furniture and personal belongings scattered around the room. In the guest restroom, there was also a scattered mess all over. Defendant was advised CSO would be visiting frequently as ordered by the court. Defendant is aware her residence needs to be organized and clean. Defendant stated she is aware the residence is a mess and has not had time to clean, but will. Defendant stated she is not employed at the moment and currently pregnant.
Not employed,
And you can't
currently
clean up.
pregnant, and don't have time to clean up. Y'all could keep saying that everybody else is the problem, and she doesn't look like us. She's a different hue.
Oh, yeah.
So keep saying we the only ones that go through this. We the only ones that talk about this. No, we're not. She don't even got a clean fucking house.
She can't clean her house. No.
And the topic of the show today, little kids and big kids. Why? Because children observe more than we realize.
Yeah.
And with the hoes that I see on this motherfucker yelling and screaming all day, neglecting their family responsibilities, neglecting their imaginary boyfriend that just don't live around here, but he is so good to me that he just won't marry me, dragging another woman back and forth, her hair, let's zoom in on her edges, zoom in on her shoes, look at her toes, look at my bag. I got all this stuff over here. She don't got shit. Y'all struggling.
Sound like a little kid taunting.
Big kids and little kids, and the children are watching. And when the conscious parent people wave their flag and say, you know what, shame on you and your shitty mom gang and the way that you behave, because we see these situations. We live in upstate New York with 98.99999% was Caucasian, and they were like her. Dirty house.
Lots of them. I worked for a cleaning company.
Wild kids.
Professional. Mm-hmm.
But the problem is everybody else. I don't believe it. I'm with Ricky.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God. Stop fucking lying.
And there's more pandering and coddling in their communities, man. Their kids can delete a whole family of 4 on some vehicular manslaughter and get probation.
From affluence.
You know, they one of the kids could die of alcohol poisoning, and they say, the kids was just out trying to blow off some steam before the midterms and shit, but somebody died.
Body weight in
shit
liquor.
Is crazy.
Let's keep going.
So why do you have your children living in a unclean home?
I had told them the one who couldn't from her dad. So things were a little messy on top of his son coming over and visiting and stuff. And when they came the next time, everything was clean. They even said something about how they had seen an improvement on the mess. So.
All right, I want a UA today. Do you need any water?
That would be a urine analysis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if you don't pass, baby girl, that's your ass, baby girl.
That's either, if you need some water, we'll make sure you have water. Do you need any water? All right. So I'm going to want a UA today, and we're going to do it in court today. And then we're going to come back after I get my result. All right, Ms. Loper, if you want to, we're going to see what the result on this UA is, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
Waiting room.
Okay.
Here she come.
All right. According to probation, you're positive for marijuana. I'm not allowing you to transfer to Austin. So whatever job your husband has, you need to be here in Bexar County. And
God.
Shut it down.
Damn.
Is it really a free land? Can we really do what we want to do when we want to do it? Can you really?
She tested positive.
Your man
and probation, I want those field visits done 3 times per month, randomly, until further notice, so we can make sure that the children are okay. So I don't know what's happening in your CPS case. I deal with the criminal side, not the civil side. They're allowing you to go to Austin. I guess that's what they're allowing. I'm not allowing it. If you want to be allowed to live in Austin, then you need to do better on your probation. And better on your probation is not having a house that, from the reports I'm getting, is messy with couches blocking doors and you testing positive for marijuana and being pregnant. And so
Shooting. Judge is firing.
Shooting.
Unapologetically. Unremorsefully.
Shooting.
As it should be.
Where her mama at? She still need a mentor. She needs somebody to tell her to get her shit cleaned up. She really an adult? She's a big kid.
So that means that either you are using marijuana outside your house, in which case the children are being unsupervised, and that would explain the couch blocking the front door, which is a fire hazard. If there's a fire in the house, how do you expect firemen to get in the house when you're blocking it with couches? And if your husband or boyfriend or the father of your children doesn't want to step up and help you if you have medical issues, then maybe you shouldn't be in a relationship with him. But
it's really simple.
Standards.
It's not that hard. It is not that hard. The judge just told her, we need examples. I just gave you one. We need solutions. I just gave you one.
But you are setting a horrible example for your child. And I don't know about this other mother who lives, who knows where, allowing her 9-year-old to come and stay with you, who is on probation for injury to a child by omission.
Which I think, again, the standards. What about the other mother that allows her child to go over to her house?
Yeah. Unsupervised house, a messy house, just because it's with their daddy.
No, the judge is not having it. We will be checking in with her frequently because she is not having it. Love this judge. Talk about it, ladies.
Okay. House when you're blocking it with couches. And if your husband or boyfriend or the father of your children doesn't want to step up and help you if you have medical issues, then maybe you shouldn't be in a relationship with him. But you are setting a horrible example for your child. And I don't know about this other mother who lives, who knows where, allowing her 9-year-old to come and stay with you, who is on probation for injury to a child by omission. People need to stop letting their children just stay with random people that they don't know and they don't know how they're living. So CBS can do whatever they wish, but I'm telling you right now, your probation is not getting transferred to Austin. You're not allowed to live in Austin. You're going to be living in Bexar County, and this court is going to have to keep an eye on all of these children who are under the age of 3.
Under the age of 3.
No supervision, no learning.
Shameful shit. That some parent somewhere seems okay with allowing you to supervise. So, probation, she's not to be in Bexar County.
Yes, Your Honor.
And if you live in Bexar County, and you leave this county to go when I didn't give you permission to, a motion to revoke is going to be filed. Is there anything else?
Your Honor, a TAP evaluation was revised to for a recommendation of safety. I don't show that on here that she has a condition for any type of outpatient treatment at this point. If you're not going to do a residential mandate, can we ask for intensive outpatient
Yes,
treatment?
intensive outpatient treatment. And I'm going to want her tested for levels.
In addition, can we set a maybe a clean date or?
Well, if her levels are increasing, file a motion to revoke. So if your levels increase, a motion to revoke is going to be filed. And let me just tell you something. People think marijuana is okay, but let me ask you this. Is it okay for your 3-year-old to smoke marijuana? Do you have any problem with that?
Of course.
All right. So the child that you are carrying, that you keep rubbing your stomach and you want me to know you're pregnant, guess what? When you're smoking marijuana, you're letting an unborn child smoke marijuana. Just imagine that child in your stomach, kicked back on a couch, smoking marijuana.
Shameful shit.
Mrs. Harris?
Shame on you.
She's absolutely right. You know, this is a way of holding someone accountable for their behaviors. You know, their shameful behavior and act. Yes. Yeah, imagine your infant sitting on the couch smoking the pipe.
Shame on you.
And you know, to be real transparent, each time, you know, I've been an avid marijuana smoker. But each time I found out I was pregnant, it was an instant detox. Even where the doctor was like, I could have, you know, weaned myself off because the drastic, you know, detox the baby too at the same time. You know, it really put my body in shock, but I consciously couldn't puff, you know.
She was puffing the gun. God damn.
You know, but in my mind, if something happens, you know, when the baby comes out and something's wrong, all I'm gonna reflect back on is how much pot I smoked, you know. So I stopped. Shout out to me for having that discipline. It was hard as hell. Sure. Especially the last one.
Okay.
Yeah, I was old. The doctor told me too. He said, you were old having this baby.
38 years
old. Yeah.
Kudos to you. Natural childbirth.
Yes.
No epidural.
No drugs.
No C-section,
Push.
No nothing.
Let's go. Yeah. It's like taking a big poop.
Natural.
Do it. Let's go.
Just imagine that child in your stomach, kicked back on a couch, smoking marijuana, because that's what you're doing. Do you understand? I'm not going to tolerate that because use of marijuana is not allowed on probation out of this court. And if your levels rise, we're not going to have a compliance hearing. We're not going to have a conversation. I'm going to get notice that your levels have gone up and a motion to revoke is going to be filed. And wherever you may be, at your home or in the grocery store at HEB or wherever it is, a warrant's going to be issued. And if police see you there, they're going to arrest you because you're pregnant. They will handcuff you in the front, which they're supposed to do. And
ain't that crazy? So those metal bracelets cuffed in the front.
Yes.
On top of this pregnant belly. What kind of energy is that sending to that little unborn baby?
All of it.
Children observe more than we realize.
Even in the belly.
How modeling impacts your child's behavior. I have no idea why he was addicted to jail. Because you had bracelets on when you was pregnant.
Possibly.
He loves jail.
Not the mama. Not the mama. Not the mama. Not the mama.
You do that one more time and I'm going to throw you across the room.
Not the mama.
Definitely the mama.
you will be taken to the Bexar County Jail. And while you're at the Bexar County Jail, you will either make bond or you will not make bond. If you don't make bond, you will be brought over to sit in the box as you see other people, and we will have a hearing on what to do. And what to do may end up you going to prison for up to 10 years. Do you understand?
How often would you like the UAs?
I want it at least once a week, randomly each week. And so do you still want to pretend to me like you have not been smoking marijuana?
I'm doing anything, Your Honor.
Okay. She's still pretending. So.
And still won't
Just
confess to smoking.
Really him. You're a victim. Here we go, CSI.
Did somebody put the marijuana in her system?
It takes a while to come out, especially if you're an avid everyday smoker. It takes a while, but it has levels to it. Like she said, it's not just, a pregnant or not type of.
Does she not
machine
know
they
about
run it through.
THC levels and how they?
No, absolutely not. She's sitting up in line.
And so do you still want to pretend to me like you have not been smoking marijuana?
I'm doing anything, Your Honor.
Okay. She's still pretending. So I want UA randomly once a week throughout the week.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
God.
It's going.
That was Judge Boyd. Shout out to Judge Boyd, man.
Down
Y'all
in her
check her out
courtroom.
on TikTok.
She is not playing with
Not
y'all
at all. Like I said, we'll be, keeping an eye out on her in her courtroom because I've seen a few and they were, eye-opening.
Yeah.
To say the least.
That's accountability for your ass.
So what you think tonight, Mrs. Big Kids and Little Kids?
Mm-hmm. Oh man, I think a lot of us are mentally still children and need to mature some. I pray for the children because they are watching and they will be modeling our behaviors. And some shit is just DNA, genetic.
You ain't lying.
So, this was good, and I hope people get a better understanding of how their behavior affects other people, especially the little people around you. Don't be a hypocrite. Can't tell your children to clean up and eat the right stuff, and you're not presenting them with that. They don't see you do it.
Absolutely.
So be conscious about that. We want them to be healthy. We want them to be functional. We want them to be able to advocate for themselves and speak up and articulate. So give them all the tools. Give them all the tools. Once you start having children read books, the selfishness needs to go out the window, because their future is determined by you. So you have to be conscious of that. I appreciate this. This was
yes,
good.
Indeed.
What do you think?
Okay.
Tonight, you put it together well, sir. I appreciate it.
It is what it is, man. Grow up. Little kids and big kids. Because you're not going to always be a kid. You're going to be an adult one day. Hopefully a positive adult, one that contributes to society versus take away. And the difference is the consciousness, your consciousness. That's a word that we, wave our flag on because it's been a part of our life. I was reflecting on it in the shower our whole life.
Yes.
If we listen to rap, we listen to conscious rappers. We came up in a lifestyle of consciousness, again, reading Behold a Pale Horse and not eating pork and wearing nice clothes and going to the Shark Bar and the tunnel. And again, just being astute, wanting to be at the movie premiere instead of when everybody else goes and wanting to get the backstage passes instead of just there's always been a level of je ne sais quoi with us New Yorkers.
Yeah, living in other communities and getting to know those communities and acclimating to those communities and finding like minds and other village.
All of this
people,
requires
so
consciousness.
We love y'all.
Talking to who you talk to, how you talk to them, being unapologetic or not, being remorseful or not, all consciousness. We wave our flag on knowledge, wisdom, and understanding over here. I could care less about your mythical stories about the people who didn't exist and I was not there to see it. I don't get into all of that. I deal with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. I call myself the God. Y'all call yourselves what y'all want. I don't know what kind of men y'all are, but I call myself the God, because you know how many people come to me and say, I could never live upstate with all of those white people and all of that freezing cold. And I say, yeah, because you're not the God. You can't do all things. And I'm glad that you said that. But I can give life. I can take life.
I don't know how y'all live in Baltimore.
Maybe you can't, but we can do all things. We can live in Africa, Baltimore, Brooklyn, Virginia, Florida. It doesn't matter. Seattle. We do all things because it's the God and the earth. And that's why I shout out to the gods and the earth, because I know it's in me. I know there's a higher power. I don't know what his name is. I don't know what day he was born. I don't know what region he was born in. I don't know if it's some dude lived in the belly of a whale. I don't know about all of that. I know if we get in a time machine, ain't nobody going back to kill Hitler, though. Everybody say he was so bad, but no one person say they would take that little baby out.
Little baby. Gotta go.
So again, you know, I hear what you say, but I also can see through you and see your consciousness. And a lot of y'all need to work on your consciousness as an individual, your consciousness as a husband, your consciousness as a boyfriend, your consciousness as a parent, your consciousness as a son. All of these things can be worked on, can be built on. So if you want to build, come over here and build with the God in the earth.
He said, she said.
Because we here, man, 3 days a week. I'll be here on Saturday. The missus will be here on Sunday. Check us out. Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Word of mouth is the best
Subscribe.
advertisement.
We almost at 500 subscribers from original content, from no celebrities in the thumbnail.
Yeah.
From curating content and bringing it to you 3 nights a week. So show us some love. We out here unapologetically waving our flag for conscious parents, waving our flag for the children, and we will continue to do so. And we could care less how anybody feels about it. So do something good for somebody other than yourself, please, because that's when real character shines through. Have a good week.
Yeah, enjoy the rest of y'all's week. We appreciate y'all pulling up, popping in. Hit that like button. Leave a comment on your way out.
Because we working out
done.
here, man. And y'all know how we get down, man.
Share with anyone you think would enjoy the content as well.
Let's get to it.
Word.
Have a very serious problem, but our people have a very serious problem. America's problem is self-destruction. Yeah, it was self-destruction. Self-destruction. Yeah, it was self-destruction. Self-destruction. Yeah, it was self-destruction. Self-destruction. Yeah, it was self-destruction.
Tripping on shit, yeah, gripping my stick, yeah, 7 of the date like who? Beefing on the fool, yeah, put up with a tool so hard, trying to prove like who?
Don't get mad at me, nigga. I'm here telling the truth. If somebody else should have told you this.
You see, baby, I don't do this just for the recognition. I do it for the children. You can take the children and bounce them on their knees. Bounce them on the knee and then sing a melody. The Varnell man, did you mean he's mine? Woo! Woo! That was lovely. That was beautiful. Johnny Gill should sign you up. My.